Hello and welcome, guys. We are currently 3-0 in our league. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. So we're just going to jump in for round 4 here with the list that you see on screen. I've said this a few times, but I'll say it again. If you're interested in more details about the specific card choices of the main deck and the sideboard, go ahead and check out match 1 of this league, and you'll find the information that you're looking for there. So with that said, let's go ahead and jump straight into the match. All right. Let's just get on in here and see if we can rough up an opponent. Ah, on the draw. Unacceptable. This hand looks pretty good to me. I think it's a keep. We got turn 1 Amulet, probably turn 2 Explore into Vesuva to play a Tribe Scout, depending on what we draw. No, wait, I don't know why we would cast an Explore this upcoming turn. We'll cast an Azusa, of course. Probably Azusa and Explore. Uh-oh. Crashing Footfalls. For those of you who are not familiar, it's going to make some 4/4 green rhinos, but the more problematic thing that this represents is a potential restore balance. I have still not figured out how to play appropriately and correctly against this deck. This is one of those kryptonite matchups for me at the moment, and I'm not really sure how to play around it. Like, we can't really afford to just hold on to lands in hand, because then we end up discarding them all to the restore balance. We can't just play them all out, because then we end up sacrificing them all to the restore balance. I mean, even if we get a Titan in play, they can just wipe our board. Although it's looking like this might be more of a rug version. I don't know if they're playing restore balance. They might not be, but that would definitely be a gamble. To be honest, I probably should have not played the growth chamber here. I probably should have played the sanctuary instead. I don't know if that's going to make a difference. We'll play our Azusa for sure. We can Vesuva their forest. I don't hate that. I think that's fine. Vesuva their forest as land drop 2, and then play Sanctuary, and pick up the Vesuva. And this is the way we have Titan lined up. We could also play Tolaria West and Vesuva our Growth Chamber, and pick up the Tolaria West and Transmute, actually. That's definitely going to be better. That way we can have a Titan this upcoming turn. We'll only have 2 lands in play, which might be a good thing, not a bad thing. So we might have gotten rewarded for playing the Simic Growth Chamber instead, actually. You know what they say, better lucky than good, right? Alright, and we'll pass it back. Azusa definitely looking very strong there. I think our Titan can stand up to a couple of 4/4 rhinos. We'll have to see what happens here, though. Got the enchantment. No? Uro. Interesting. This could be more of a, I forget the name of that enchantment. The 3-mana one that lets you cast a spell equal to counters on it once every turn. That would explain the footfalls, and they'd probably have like Ancestral Vision and something along those lines as well. So, the Titan is not going to be able to double strike, which is a little annoying. We could cycle and explore here before we do anything else, just to see if we can top deck another Amulet. I'm going to start there. Dryad. So if we play Sanctuary, we'll float 1, play Dryad, and have only 2 more. So we can't get a Dryad into play with this Titan. But I think that's fine. And well, we actually have 2 lands, because we haven't played one yet. So that'd be 6, minus 3 is down to 3, plus 2 more is up to 5. So yeah, we'd be 1 short to getting Dryad and Titan into play here. So instead, we'll just do this. We definitely have to get Titan into play. We're probably killing the Wrenn and 6, I guess. Actually, I don't know if that's even going to matter, to be honest. And we'll pick up our Vesuve, I suppose, so that way we can get a Valakut going. We'll get our Titan. And we'll search for some things. So if they do have Restore Balance, and they're planning on sacrificing their lands and making us sacrifice our lands, then... I mean, I don't actually know if we could beat that, now I'm thinking about it, because we just won't be able to pay for our pact. So because of that, I don't think trying to cut them off of making additional land drops here is going to be relevant. I think it's better to just swing everything at them. That's my general inclination here. So that's what I'm going to do. And we can actually get the Valakut and a bounce land here and be able to play our Dryad immediately. I don't know if that's going to be necessary, because then we just get... I mean, if they have a Restore Balance... If they have a Restore Balance but they don't have Greater Gargadon, then we're not going to lose to our pack trigger. Which means that we can currently, as it is, beat a Restore Balance if we set up to get another Titan. So, in that case, I think I want TUS and a blue bounce land here. We can immediately transmute for a Summoner's Pact. And have a Titan set up for this upcoming turn, and leave an extra green source in play as well. I think that's going to be the play. Oh, well, we're not going to be able to transmute immediately. That might be alright, though. Let's see. We'll pick up the... I think we want to pick up the Garrison here. As much as I would like to have a green source in hand, so that we don't have to end up losing it to a some kind of land destruction effect, I think it's going to be better to have it in play. So here we could play Dryad and like Ghost Corridor or Stronghold to be able to get our Scout into play, but that does play into the aforementioned balance. So I don't know if that's going to be the best line. It might be alright to go ahead and play a Scout here, but we actually kind of might just want to pass. Playing Scout is just going to get it killed by the Wrenn. There's either going to be Dryad or nothing, I think. And I think playing the Dryad now is going to be... I don't know, I really don't want to walk into a Restore Balance, though. Because if we play Dryad now, we can pay for our pack, play a bounce land, and be able to immediately transmute Talari West for a Valakut. But if we have to play Dryad, we'll have to use 2 of our land drops in order to pick up and cycle the T-West, and we won't be able to get a Valakut into play. That's assuming we lose our Titan. So it's kind of a tough situation here. I think it's going to be best to just pass. Is it worth taking the 2 counters, or the 1 counter off of the Wrenn by playing the Scout? I think it is. If we end up having to... If they end up having the balance, then this is just going to be an extra card in hand, which is kind of a liability, so... Okay. So, of course, they kill the Scout. And this is a powerful card. And we also have a Cryptic command covered, because they can bounce one of our green sources, but then we'll still be able to pay for our pack, so that's no big deal. So I think this upcoming turn, if they don't have a way to answer our Titan, we're going to be playing Dryad. And then getting a Valakut into play. Well, we actually don't have to play the Dryad immediately. We can go to combat, and if we're able to attack with our Primeval Titan, we might be able to win with regular damage that way. In all honesty, we could actually play Dryad and play Stronghold and Garrison, so we can haste the Dryad, and that would be lethal by itself. We have options here for sure. I don't know what they're planning, though, to be honest. I think it's going to be playing Dryad and hasting it. Ooh, I want to float the red and the white. Do we haste the Dryad or not? I think we do. This way we can even swing the Dryad at Rin if they're not just dead on the spot. And that way we can't lose our Dryad to a lightning bolt, so we'll swing at him. So if we get a Valakut and another land here, we can get 2 triggers, use 1 on them to put them to 6, or send both triggers at them, and then if they block the Primeval Titan, they're taking 4 damage, so that would be 10. So we can afford to swing the Dryad at the Rin, I think. Yeah. Yes. So we want to get Valakut and I guess Feel the Dead. We're not going to be making zombies, but I don't know if that actually matters, to be honest. If we get a bounce land, we can play Azusa as well. So I'm actually going to go for a bounce land. We'll go for a Gruul Turf here. Send all of the Valakuts upstairs. And they concede. Okay. It could just be kind of a rug control deck. I'm still not entirely sure. I think Tracker's going to be good, even though they have lightning bolts and stuff. Mystical Dispute is probably good. Baloth might be reasonable, since they don't really have an efficient way to kill it. I'm going to bring in a couple Beast Withins just because it hits the... As Foretold is the name of that enchantment. It hits As Foretold. If they have it, it hits Ashiok. Hits Planeswalkers, although we don't really care about Rin and 6. It's mainly for As Foretold and Ashiok. For that reason, I may not want to bring in the 3rd Beast Within. I'm not sure. I'm definitely bringing the Sage. I think it's possible that Obstinate Baloth is good enough. Just in the case that they're on like a control deck that doesn't play things like Restore Balance. Here we'll cut a Stirrings, 1 pack, the Scouts, for sure. What else? We can cut 1 Grazer, I think. Amulet's quite good against them. If they're a little bit faster, more of a Restore Balance deck, then I don't think Explore is going to be fantastic, so I'll trim a few. If they're playing just a Rug control deck, we probably have a pretty decent matchup anyways, so we don't really need Explore. And then I think we can cut the Ghost Quarter, wherever it's at. Yep. And this seems fine. Yeah, I'm comfortable with this. We actually might consider cutting 1 more Summoner's Pact in Game 3 if we get there. Just because Summoner's Pacts can get a little redundant, and they're a liability against like land destruction or Cryptic Command or anything along that vein. If I knew for sure they were playing a slower control deck, I might be more inclined to keep this, just because it has Titan mana, it has Feel the Dead, which is actually a decent threat, and like not playing anything until turn 3 isn't the worst thing against like a slower deck, but I don't really know. I think it's worth mulliganing just to try to get something a tiny bit faster. Well, this isn't faster exactly, but it has more threats, but it doesn't have any untapped lands. I'm going to keep it, though. I have faith that we'll find an untapped land, and Azusa, I think, is the worst threat here, so... Although Azusa is a good one to lead on to try to get them to counter it if they're playing a counterspell deck. So we'll play Valakut for sure. And this is why I was saying that we might want to trim Summoner's Pact, is because in situations like this, like, we don't really need this Summoner's Pact. Even if we didn't have a Titan, we could just naturally draw into one or something along those lines. We'll play Garenbrig. I was thinking that if we draw an untapped land, then it might be better to play out a Go Chamber, but if we draw an untap land, we can play one of our 3-drops anyways. So this Dreadhorde Arcanist makes me more inclined to think that this is just a control deck. They get to cast a free Ancestral Vision here too. That's a pretty good one to mill. Which is now a keyword, by the way. M21 has not released yet, but they have made mill a keyword, which I think is a very good choice. I mean, to all the players, mill has basically already been a keyword, so I think it's a good step. Explore is actually pretty good here. We'll play it. Amulet. Don't mind it. Don't mind it at all. We'll pick up Garenbrig, I guess, because it could potentially... whatever. We'll just play it again, actually. I was going to say it could potentially be an untapped source, but I don't want to put a second Growth Chamber into play and get... I mean, we wouldn't get that punished by it, but I think having the Growth Chamber to go along with this Amulet for acceleration is going to be better than just having it in play, so... We actually have a Titan this upcoming turn if we get the chance to cast it. They do have Blood Moons, which is good to know about. They're tapping out for Uro. I imagine we're doing pretty well here. I don't see what they could have up for 1 mana that really stops us. I guess a Spell Pierce. And then we just play our land, play Dryad, I think. Yeah, I'm definitely just jamming here. So we'll start by playing the Amulet. Right, that went through, so we'll play Sanctuary. And we can yield to Amulet for now. We'll activate this Garenbrig, and we'll pick it up. And we'll play Titan. I wonder what they could have here. Maybe they were just hoping I wouldn't have it? I don't know. So we'll haste here. I'm not really worried about anything. Not even like a Dismember, because they don't have anything to block, so... This is pretty free. And here we might want to give ourselves the opportunity to play a Dryad or a Tracker by getting a bounce land and something else on the attack trigger. And we'll also be able to make an additional land drop after, so I think picking up the Stronghold is alright here. Ooh, we could get 2 Valakut's. Let's see, so that's going to be... I mean, we're definitely attacking. That's going to be... put them at 15, and 2 Valakut's plus a land after is going to be 9 damage, so we don't quite have lethal here. I kind of like that, though. Maybe it's playing a little too much into something, but we already have another Titan backup, so there's not really much else I'm interested in playing around. Maybe we get a Bog here, just to make sure they can't cast an Uro. Although, if they cast an Uro, I think we're just going to win anyways. I don't really care about the Uro. Let's see what else. I mean, they might be able to find something by opting, I guess, off of their Dreadhorde, so I'm going to Bog them. We want a Valakut. This gets rid of their Uro, and it also prevents them from getting a card off their Dreadhorde. So. We're not playing our Dryad this turn, but this is fine, I think. We're getting double bolted here, huh? I mean, I guess that does it. This way they only used 1 card. So. Interesting. So we have access to 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 mana. So we can play a Dryad or a Tireless Tracker to bait out a counterspell and then pack for it and play a Titan. We actually have 10 mana because 10 or 11 mana because we have access to a land drop here. So if we play Stronghold and tap Bog and Sanctuary to play a Dryad, and they don't do anything about it, then we'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wait, did I count wrong? Oh, we only have 2 green in play, so we have to play a green source this turn in order to be able to do the things that we want to do. Let's see, with 11 mana, we could actually go up to as much as 13 mana if our Dryad resolves. So I think, that being the case, I'm going to try to resolve this tracker first as a bait spell. And then, if they don't do anything about it, we'll just play Stronghold and haste it, get a clue. We'll play Stronghold and then probably play Dryad. Well, we could play Dryad, play Growth Chamber Garenbrig, and still be able to Titan. So, I'm actually going to lead on the Garenbrig here. This gives us a trigger on the Tireless Tracker, and doesn't commit us to playing a bounce land if we don't want to this turn. We'll yield to this. Let's see, so we go 1, 2, 3, play Dryad, play any land, probably the Stronghold, and we can still cast a Titan. Because we're going to have double green off of the Dryad's innate ability. Yeah, this is fine. We don't even need to attack with the Titan this turn, so we'll send... I think we might as well... So we're going to get a Valakut and another land here for 3 times 2 is 6 triggers. That's 18, so we can afford to send one of these at the Dreadhorde anyways. Just in case things don't work out the way that we intend them to. So before anything else, we'll cast the Summoner's Pact. So they have a Disdainful Stroke. Okay. That's fine. We still have everything that we want to be going on. We have 2 clues for extra card advantage if they're able to answer our tracker. And we have a Dryad that represents lethal pretty quickly in play. I guess if they have a Blood Moon, that's the only way that we lose here. Maybe Pacting wasn't the best line. Because I could have played the Stronghold instead of the Forest and just hasted one of these 2 guys and attacked and not actually committed to the Summoner's Pact, and that probably would have been better. If they have a Blood Moon here, then not playing conservatively lost us the game. So that's something I'm definitely worried about. A Braid, okay. No Blood Moon. No Blood Moon. Okay, so we survived the possibility of a Blood Moon. Definitely should have played around that. Draw for turn. Okay, so we're going to start by cracking a clue. Nothing. Okay, well, we'll clue again. Mystical Dispute. Okay, well, we're playing a blue source, I suppose. Since we already have another bounce land in hand, it's probably fine to pick up a non-bounce land here. So I'm going to pick up the Bog. And we'll pass it back. Well, they dealt with everything we had. And they are going to get a clock here, so... Man. Luckily, it's a 3-turn clock and not a 2-turn clock. Although they could have a lightning bolt or something along those lines to change that. Well, I mean, we're going to be able to bog away their graveyard, so these Arcanists aren't doing that much. Surgical our Titan. Okay. That sucks. But any creature... I guess not any creature. We really, I guess, just need to draw Dryad then at this point. Because our tracker's already gone. I probably should have drawn to draw step the surgical extraction. But we also have Feel the Dead. So we're definitely bogging them. I actually think we're going to lose this game. Bolt us. Okay. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. They don't quite have lethal. That's only if they attack with everything. But yeah, we need to draw a Summoner's Pact or a Dryad exactly this turn. I think that's our only out. In all honesty, I think they probably could have held back one of the Dread Hordes, or even one Rhino, just to make sure they have a chump blocker. Because this, for example, this 1 damage is not going to matter. So it would have been pretty easy for them to not attack with this, and have some other possible out covered. Sadly, an Amulet is not going to do anything, though. Okay, so we're going to a game 3. But now we know for a fact that they're on a control plan and not like something like Restore Balance. So I think in that case, we definitely want explosives for the tokens. Maybe 2 is a lot, though. I'm not sure. Beast Within and Force of Vigor seem relevant against a Blood Moon. I think I'm more interested in Force of Vigor. Nah, Beast Within hits potential Planeswalkers. They could have, like, Ashiok or something. I definitely don't want Tribe Scouts. And I think the Explorers can come back in. I'm actually alright with a 3rd Pact against a more controlling build. And less interested in Azusa, I think. Shaving on Stirring seems alright to me, because we're going to find the lands and amulets we need eventually. And I guess the other card is either 1 Summoner's Pact or the 3rd Beast Within. I think it's going to be a Pact. Yes, we'd like to play first. This hand is pretty good. Yeah, I'll keep it. We get a turn 2 Dryad here. Reasonable. And then, if they have a Blood Moon, though, unless we top deck a basic Forest, and then we can Summoner's Pact for a Rex Sage, we don't have an answer. So it's actually possible we don't want to play out this Dryad. Although, admittedly, if they land a Blood Moon and we don't have a basic Forest, then the Dryad in hand is not going to do anything. So I think actually we will want to play the Dryad regardless. So they suspend a Footfalls. Sounds good. There's a Titan. Just need some lands. Alright, so we got a Dryad. We'll make a green. Here's Dryad. And I guess we might as well go ahead and play the Garenbrig. And we'll pass it back. Yeah, I mean, this is a pretty good start. If we draw a bounce land, a green bounce land, actually, it doesn't even have to be a green bounce land. If we draw any bounce land or even a Vesuva, then we can cast a Titan this upcoming turn. Alright, well, we're doing it on easy mode over here. Is this lethal? So we're going to have 8 from the Titan, plus a bunch in Valakut triggers. Let's see. So... oh wait, hold on. We gotta tap our mana correctly here. There we go. So I think here we can pick up the Sunhome. I want to leave the Vestige in play in case we want to go for a line that involves getting the Vesuva to copy the Vestige, so we have an extra land in play for Valakut triggers. We could play Sunhome now and then get Valakut plus Haste land, but that denies us a land drop further down the line. But then we're going to get 2 more lands, and that can be 2 Vesuvas copying. So I think that playing the Sunhome now makes sense. But yeah, I'm definitely going to do that. We're going to play our Titan, get Valakut plus Stronghold. I'm going to tap our Sunhome for white. And this should just be game. We'll save targets for this. Always yes. Always yield. Alright. Red. White. Haste our Titan. Alright. Well, we managed to get it anyways. We just had a really fast, quite good draw there. It was lucky of us to top deck the Gruul Turf there. Although, we actually had a ton of hits there. Every land in this stack, I believe, except for the Garenbrigs. Because the Garenbrigs wouldn't have actually done it there. So, we had 11 hits and however many cards we had left in our deck that would do it. I think that's not unreasonable. Yeah. Anyways, that was match... what was that? Match 4? Match 3? Hold on, let me check. Yeah, that was match 4. We are 4-0. Man, if anything feels like a 5-0 run, this definitely feels like it. I'm hoping that I can manage my first trophy here on camera, but hopefully I haven't jinxed it. Anyways, yeah, I guess that's it. Exciting match. I will see you guys for match 5. This is Red Face Menace, signing off.